On September 10, 2025, the normally quiet city of Orem, Utah, became the center of a national crisis. A single gunshot, fired from nearly 200 yards away, silenced a political rally and shook the United States to its core. The target was Charlie Kirk, a conservative activist, speaker, and the founder of Turning Point USA. Kirk was mid-speech at Utah Valley University when he was struck in the neck by a rifle round. The attack was not only an assault on one man, but also a chilling reminder of the growing dangers surrounding political life in America. To understand the magnitude of this event, we must first understand who Charlie Kirk is, how he rose to prominence, and why his story captured the nation's attention long before the shooting in Utah. Charlie Kirk was born on October 14, 1993, in Arlington Heights, Illinois, a suburb northwest of Chicago. Raised in a middle-class family, his father, Robert W. Kirk, worked as an architect, while his mother was a homemaker. Kirk attended Wheeling High School, where his early years were marked by challenges in the classroom. He often described himself as not being a strong student, and his decision not to attend college would later become a defining part of his personal narrative. Instead of pursuing a traditional path, Kirk leaned into political activism. By his late teens, he had already begun speaking publicly and writing about issues affecting young Americans. His break came in 2012 at just 18 years old, when he founded Turning Point USA, a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting conservative values on college campuses. The group's rapid rise was meteoric. Within a few years, Turning Point USA became one of the most influential youth political organizations in the country, with chapters across college campuses nationwide. Kirk's message, a mixture of free market principles, criticism of progressive policies, and defense of American exceptionalism, resonated with conservative students who often felt outnumbered in academic environments. By his early 20s, Kirk was already rubbing shoulders with high-profile figures in American politics. He became a regular speaker at conservative conferences, a frequent guest on television and radio, and eventually one of the most visible young activists in the United States. Kirk's political style was polarizing. Supporters saw him as a fresh, unapologetic defender of conservative ideals. Critics accused him of stoking division and oversimplifying complex issues. Regardless of opinion, one fact remained: Charlie Kirk had become a household name in American politics. By 2019, he had authored books, launched podcasts, and built a massive online following. His influence was particularly strong among younger conservatives, many of whom saw him as a bridge between their generation and the broader conservative movement. It was this influence that brought him to Utah Valley University in September 2025, and it was there that his life changed forever. The American Comeback Tour had drawn thousands to Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Charlie Kirk was the headliner, delivering one of his signature speeches about political culture, free speech, and the future of the nation. The atmosphere was electric. Students, families, and local community members had gathered to listen. Security was present, but it was, by design, less rigid than at high-level political events. Kirk was not an elected official, but his profile was large enough to attract significant attention, both positive and negative. As Kirk spoke, witnesses recalled how he gestured passionately, holding the crowd's attention. Then, at approximately 7 p.m. local time, the sound of a single gunshot shattered the event. From nearly 200 yards away, a shooter armed with a rifle fired toward the stage. The bullet struck Charlie Kirk in the neck. For a moment, there was silence, then chaos. Witnesses described the scene as pure panic. Audience members screamed, ducked for cover, and rushed to escape. Security and volunteers scrambled to reach Kirk, who collapsed on stage. Blood stained his shirt as those closest to him tried to apply pressure to the wound. Emergency medical personnel, already stationed at the event as a precaution, rushed forward. Within minutes, Kirk was evacuated from the stage and placed into an ambulance. He was rushed to a local hospital where he was stabilized. As Kirk fought for his life, law enforcement began the search for the shooter. Within hours, local police, the Utah County Sheriff's Office, and the FBI launched a joint investigation. The attack on a high-profile political figure was treated as a matter of national security. investigators quickly gathered surveillance footage and eyewitness accounts. The trajectory of the bullet and physical evidence pointed to a shooter firing from a distance. By late evening, attention turned to a young man named Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old from Washington County, Utah. Digital evidence played a critical role. Messages traced to Robinson's online activity suggested premeditation. Authorities alleged that he had scouted the rally and positioned himself with a clear line of sight. When Robinson was located and arrested, police recovered the rifle believed to have been used in the attack. He was taken into custody without incident. In court filings, Robinson was charged with attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon. Federal authorities also became involved due to the political nature of the shooting. The motive remains under investigation. While Robinson's online presence suggested political frustrations, no official statement has confirmed a clear reason behind the attack. News of the shooting spread rapidly across the United States. Within minutes, major outlets were reporting live from outside the hospital where Kirk was being treated. Reactions poured in from across the political spectrum. Utah Governor Spencer Cox condemned the shooting, calling it a cowardly act of violence against free speech and the democratic process. Prominent conservative figures rallied behind Kirk, sending prayers and messages of support. Liberal politicians, though often in opposition to Kirk's politics, also condemned the violence, emphasizing that political disagreements must never turn into physical attacks. The incident sparked widespread discussion about political polarization in America. Analysts pointed to the dangers faced by public figures in an environment where heated rhetoric often translates into real-world hostility. For Kirk supporters, the shooting was framed as a wake-up call about the risks of speaking out in today's divided climate. For his critics, it was a reminder that political violence is unacceptable, no matter the target. At the hospital, Kirk's condition stabilized after emergency surgery. His team released statements assuring the public that he was receiving the best possible care. The investigation into Robinson continued, with prosecutors preparing what they described as a serious and straightforward case. The attempted assassination of Charlie Kirk became more than just a criminal case. It became a national conversation. The attack highlighted the fragile state of American political discourse, where ideological battles increasingly spill into dangerous territory. It raised urgent questions. How can public figures safely engage with large audiences? What role does online radicalization play in acts of violence? And how should society address the rising threats faced by political activists, speakers, and leaders? For Charlie Kirk, the road to recovery would be long, but his influence and visibility ensured that his story would remain in the public eye. For America, the attack in Orem, Utah, was another reminder of the dangers of division and the importance of safeguarding not just freedom of speech, but the safety of those who exercise it. The shooting of Charlie Kirk on September 10, 2025, was not only an attack on a man, but a reflection of the times we live in. From his humble beginnings in Illinois to his rise as one of the most recognized conservative voices in America, Kirk's story has been one of resilience, controversy, and impact. And now, his name is tied to one of the most shocking acts of political violence in recent American history. As the case against Tyler Robinson unfolds, one truth remains undeniable. The United States stands at a crossroads where the line between disagreement and destruction grows thinner by the day. If you found this deep dive documentary insightful and want to stay updated on the stories that shape our world, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Together, we'll continue to explore the events that define our time.